Good morning. Welcome to the Gardening with Gill video series. I'm your host, Will Redfern, and in front of me, as usual, is Gill Gillespie. Give us a wave, Gill. We are both Norfolk master gardeners. Gill has been growing vegetables his whole life, starting with when he was a child growing up on a farm in Western Virginia. You may also know Gill from his work at Gardens in the Flower Pot, where he worked for almost 3 decades. We are shooting this video series with the intent of showing Norfolk residents useful tips in planning, planting, and maintaining their veggie gardens. And that's something we feel is especially useful in times like this when growing your own vegetables is an attractive alternative to buying them in a store. So we are in the second half of March 2021. We are officially in spring. The garden has been tilled and fertilized, and today we are going to talk about double row planting. So Gill, tell us about double row planting? What can we put in it?
First of all, for double row planting, it saves spaces in your garden so you can get more vegetables in. And it works great for young spring vegetables, the things that grow in small plants, short roots, and so forth, so it doesn't take a lot of space. And double spacing in your garden, double rowing in your garden, saves a lot of room so you can get more vegetables in a small space. And so we're going to go ahead and refreshen the soil here just a little bit. For the double row, I lay off a trench. And then I just smooth off the tops a little bit so that we make a little trench. And then I'll lay off my rows. These are all going to be small seeds, so it doesn't take a deep row. So I'll lay off my row. I'm going to be putting the seeds in on top of these ridges. I'll leave the trench in the middle for water.
So the trench creates ridges on both sides, which will be where you plant the seeds.
This is our double row. There's a row there, and then we'll have a row here.
And the trench becomes your water retention area. And you got the nice rows right there with the trench in the middle.
Now we're ready to plant our seeds.
And what kind of seeds are we planting today, Gill?
Today we're going to do some radishes. They're a nice early crop. So we're going to do some German giant radishes here. And I have a special way that I do my small seeds. People have trouble getting small seeds spread out, but I have a little method that works out good for me. It's called my thumb over forefinger. So I take a pinch of the seeds like that, just a pinch, and I only roll my thumb. Just move the thumb, and you can drop your little seeds out just one at a time or two at a time if you need to. By just rolling your thumb over your forefinger. Don't move the forefinger. And you can see the little seeds. We can just drop them sparingly as we go along so we don't get too many down. And that's how I plant small seeds. And then to cover those, it takes about a 1/4 inch to cover the seeds. And I do the pinch method.
Gill's pinch.
This is a Gill's pinch for about a 1/4 inch. And then I do my love pats.
Pat them down. So those were radishes, right?
These are radishes, okay?
And what else are we putting in? Putting in some carrots?
We're going to put in some carrots.
Some lettuces?
So,
and I see we have 2 long rows, and we're going to split the rows in half, right?
in 3 parts.
3 parts, okay.
You know, growing for one person, I don't like long rows. Keep my vegetables fresh. And it only takes a short row to grow enough for one person to eat. And they get tough if you leave some of these in, so you need to keep refreshing them. So I only plant a few at a time so I can keep them all fresh. If I can get these carrots open here.
Because carrot packets are tough.
The carrots are being aggravating.
There we go.
And again, just put a pinch in there with my hand. And then I take my thumb over the finger, okay?
Right in that row. There we go.
And then we'll do a 1/4 inch cover. Pinchy, pinchy, pinchy. And then love pats. Okay.
All right.
We got some other things to put in the row, but now I'm going to go switch over here to the other side and plant some lettuce. So that you can see that you can plant all different things here today. This is just some black seeded Simpson leaf lettuce. I'll buy some plants later on to put in parts of the rows here of different kinds, like the butter crunches and things, which is a little bit harder to grow from seed. Okay, cover them up.
And there we go.
Okay, so now we planted some radishes, we planted some carrots, and we planted some lettuce from seed. And another thing that we're going to plant today is something I like real well, is beets. So we're going to complete this row here with some Detroit red beets. They're the standard one for around here, but I also grow 2 different kinds of beets. It's always nice to have different kinds. Nice to have different kinds. So we'll go plant some beets next. Now, beet seed is different than the other seeds. The other seeds are a single plant to a seed. A beet seed is a composite. There's not just one plant in one of these. There's 2 to 3 little plants in here. So again, we need to space these out a little bit more because we'll get more plants than what we really need. So my thumb over finger method lets you drop just a few at a time.
Pinch them together. Gill's pinch.
And we'll pat them
Pat 'em
down.
down. All right, so that is some double row planting. We've got 4 or 6. We have about 5 or 6 different kind of seeds in here, and that is a great way, if you've got just a little bit of space, a great way to do some intensive gardening where you can put a lot in one space. All right, Gill, thanks a lot.